Hello. Welcome to another video, and today is gonna be a long video again. This is gonna be like 31 raw tips for online teachers. So here we go. Number one, invest in a good quality microphone and webcam for clear audio and video communication. This is important. The webcam is not the most important. I've got an sorry, I have an HD webcam, but I didn't buy it like my first year of teaching. I bought it like after a year, but I think a microphone is very important. So to make your video introduction just for teaching, if someone like watch your video and can hear like it's not happening, right? So a good microphone is important. You can find a good one. For me, I pay my one. I have this one, and the quality is okay. It's not the best quality in the world, but I just bought it like, let's say, $30, I think. Very important. Okay, so let's move on. Number two, use a reliable internet connection and avoid disruption and lagging. This is very important. So for me, first, I have internet in my office, which is good, and I have data on my phone just in case. So as a backup, if there is a storm, maybe the electricity shut down or anything, I always have a backup with my internet. And if when I'm traveling, I always use my internet, and that's very important. I don't know where you are in the world, this is your job, but please take internet very seriously. I promise you, if one of you students you have always problem with internet, they're gonna leave you, and we don't want that here. Okay, so let's move on. Number three, set up a dedicated workspace that is free from distractions and has a good lighting. This is very important as well for me. I've got my office right now, but in the near future I will be traveling, so I always like find a nice place where I can work in a good space. What about lighting? I simply buy that things, and it's working very well. When the lighting is not too bad. Now that the light is just above me, so it's not too bad. But it's very important. You cannot teach in a dark room. Don't do that. Okay. Number four, create a structured lesson plan and schedule for your online classes. Yeah, that's what I preach a lot on this channel. I have many video about that. I invite you to go to see them, or I create my classes, or I create my lesson plan, or I create my content for teaching. I made many video. I don't want to go too deep on it, so let's move on. Use interactive tools such as whiteboard, quizzes, and stuff to engage your student. You have a stuff in your room, sometimes you have this, you can say, what is that? You have maybe things behind you that you can show. You can use a whiteboard. I'm using Zoom. In Zoom, I have a whiteboard. You can do some quizzes. You can use like a learning app. You can use Scout. There is many ways that you can engage student. Okay. Let's move on. Provide clear instruction and guideline for assignments. Now, this one is a big one. What I wrote this one because always the ego come on the way, and sometimes the student they say they understood but they did not. So try to be clear. Send also everything you want to make them to do by writing. So you tell them plus you write them, so they are both to make sure that they really understand. At first I was just, oh, can you do that for next week? And they say, oh yeah. And first they forgot, and then they don't really understand, but they want to understand after an hour of like focusing, like maybe like their brain is fried already. And then you ask something, they, oh yeah, but they are gone already. So just please provide clear instructions, very important. Number seven, use multimedia resources such as videos, image, audio clips to make your lesson more interesting. As I say, if you want to see the way I make my class, I made few videos about that in on the channel. On my courses, I have like a more deep instruction about that. But that's very important to use music, videos, YouTube videos, anything. They really like it, and you send the link at the end, and they can watch it again, and that's very engaging. It's a very good things to do. Okay, number eight, use multimedia resources. Oh, I did the same thing. Amazing. Okay, number nine, encourage student participation through discussion, board, chat room, and forums. So I always tell my students they should like try to, if there is they have a passion about something, they can find a forum or a chat room that talk about that, but in the language they are learning. So for me, I'm a French teacher. If someone like I don't know, a football, you can go like talk about football in a French forum, or like under like if you watch a YouTube video, you have the comment section. You can just try. Of course, they have to understand there is a lot of trolls on the internet, but they can use their skill and practice. And there is good people as well, not only bad people. So they can use the learning exchange apps. There is like so many things they can do. I always encourage them to do that. Not practice only with me. Practice with other people is very important. Okay, number 10, provide a timely feedback and constructive criticism to help students improve. So I say that so many times on the channel, but I will gonna repeat. I use the sheet technique sandwich from Tim Ferriss. So when I want to give feedback, I always say something positive. Then I say something kind of negative, positive, negative. For example, I say, "Oh wow, when you know when you said that it was perfect, the accent was good." But when you said that, you remember last week we say now we have to pronounce like this, you know. So I say something positive, then I say something, and that's what I do, and it's worked very well. Don't hesitate don't hesitate to like the video. Let's move on. Use social media platforms to communicate with your students and keep them informed about class update. For me, I do email, like normal email marketing, and in the near future, I'm gonna create a room in WhatsApp. Most of my students they have WhatsApp, and we can communicate on WhatsApp. Why not? And I can give them everything to remember. Sometimes the communication is easier. If you have a problem with your calendar or you something happen, just send a message on WhatsApp. They're more on their phone than they are on their computer. So WhatsApp is probably the easiest things you can do with your student. Or anything you use in your country, what's make it convenient for you. For me, WhatsApp I think is great. And if you teach kids, you have the parents WhatsApp, very important. Okay. Let's move on. Encourage students to ask questions and participate in discussion. For me, that's what I do. I always say, do you have any question for me? Do you want to know anything? And when I have a shy student, there is one thing, very important things that I do. I say, okay, you have to learn how to talk, but you have to learn to ask question as well. Is very important. So when we talk about, for example, a skill or to buy stuff in a bakery, for example, I say, okay, so now I'm the seller, now you're the client, but after we change, you have to ask the question as well. So that's very important. So you have to teach them to ask question. It's very important. Okay, those for the shy student. Okay, so number 13, use virtual whiteboards and screen sharing tool to enhance your teaching. So this is common sense. I'm using all the time. That's what I'm doing now. I make the presentation. I'm sharing it with you guys. That's how it's done. You need to do something virtual. This is 2023. It's very important. So use those tools. I use Zoom. I love Zoom. I'm happy to pay because it's a really great tool. It's working well. I've got everything I need, and they update everything to make it even a better tool. So amazing. Let's move on. It's not I'm not affiliate at all. I just said that because that's what I use. But you can use like a Google Hangout. So it's working very well. For me, I'm just used to Zoom. That's it. 14, provide extra resources such as online textbook, articles, tutorial, and supplement your lesson. I always do that. Yeah, in my courses, that's what I explain. I always give more. That's what I do. If I find something interesting, I always send to my students, say, check this out. It's so cool. You know, extra work, very important. Number 15, use video conferencing software that allow you to record your session for future reference. So with Zoom, you can record. That's what I'm doing now. I'm recording this video. And sometimes I do that with students. So for my beginner students, if we work on something, I say, okay, we're going to do a drill. And for that drill, I'm going to record it and send you the video at the end. And so you can see what goes wrong. You can see yourself and you will have a better understanding. Or if I explain something important, I record it, then I send it. This gives a lot of value. Student loves it. So do it. 16, establish clear rules and expectation for behavior and conduct during online classes. For me, I'm teaching adults, but for those of you who teach kids, I think it's very, very important to have a set of rules. I imagine for me as adults, I don't need to really to be strict or anything. I'm just being myself. That's it. 17, use language and terminology that is appropriate for your student age and level of understanding. So this is common sense, but depends where they're from, depends what they hedge, and you really have to be careful of what you say. You have to speak slowly and use that word very carefully, appropriate. So be careful of what you say according to your reality. We are like there is when you're a teacher, there is no politics, no religion, no nothing like this. You're just here to teach. As I always say, for me, I tell my students they can say anything, even the worst thing I never heard. They can say it, but what they have to do, what they say is not important. Say how they say it. I say you can tell me the worst thing in the world. I don't mind if you say it well. Okay. So let's move on. 18, take breaks during your online classes to give your student time to relax and research. For me, I don't do that in every lesson, but if I see the students start to break down, to have a problem with his brain, start to, oh, it's so hard. I say, okay, you know what? Go get some water. I go to toilet. Just 2-minute break. Sometimes they can breathe a little bit. They can relax, stand up. And when they come back, they're okay. Don't do that in the first 10 minutes of the lesson. At least do it after the half of the lesson. The second half of the lesson, you can just say, if you see that they really are, say, okay, go get some water. I go to toilet, just come back. That's it, like 2 minutes. Some student loves it, some they don't like, but don't take break. It depends. But if you have like 2 lessons back to back, maybe say 1 minute before the end, say, okay, sorry, I have to go and do your things. Okay, so just use it wisely. 19, be flexible and adaptable to your student needs and learning style. Now, this is crucial. That's something that you have really to, oops, I'm really sorry about that. Up. See, when you use Canva and you use Zoom, it's a magic tool. You can do so many things. That this is brilliant. Anyway, yeah, you have to adapt for each every student that you have. They have different needs, they're different personality. You really have to adapt. As I say, maybe in a trial lesson you cannot really discover what works for them, but along the way you will know, and after you have to stick to what is best for them. Okay, so don't be afraid to change things, to be adaptable in order to get result from them. Okay. 20, use real life examples and scenarios to make your lesson more relevant and engaging. So that's what I do. For me, I go like a real life scenarios. When I say, okay, like we go to a shop, you need to buy that, how you buy it. So first I teach the vocabulary, like helpful sentences from what they know. I say, you use what you already know. Now I want you to buy this from me, how you do it. And, yeah, make it real. I say, now I'm happy because now we did the class. Now you're able to go to a shop and you can buy stuff. You're ready. I told them you're ready. So now you not only learn the language, but you learn like useful skill, which is what we need now. Okay, 21, use online assessment tool to track student progress and evaluate the understanding of the materials. There is many things that you can do. You can do it manually, or there is like tool to check their level. You say, okay, now when they start, they have a very, very, maybe small knowledge. After maybe 3 months, you can make them a test and you see like they pass another level from A1 to A2 or to B1 to B, and sometimes they really like it. Some students, they if they see progress, for me, I don't send things like this. I do it manually. So when we learn something, I have a file for each student. I say, okay, now we learn that, we learn that, we learn that. And when I see they start to feel down, I just remind them. I say, you were able to do that. In 2 months ago, you didn't know anything. And I say, oh yes, that's true. Okay, just need to remind them because it's so easy to forget, right? So just do that. That's your job. Make them happy. 22, be patient and understanding when dealing with technical issues and difficulty. This is an important one as well. Sometimes our internet goes wrong, everything goes wrong. Sometimes you have a bad day. And at first I was like so stressed about it. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna have bad review. What are they gonna say? They're gonna hate me. I just say, I say simply, sorry, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, there is a problem for sure. I don't know. So I say, okay, look, if we cannot have the class now, just review, do something, and just give you another class for free later. Simple as that, don't need to, okay, oh, I don't get paid. It's okay. This is your job. Sometimes it happen. You're the teacher, unfortunately. It's just everything for the student, not for you. For me, I have no problem. Even if I teach 10 minutes, there is problem. Say, okay, like next time I give you a free lesson. It's not a big deal. They're always happy. They know that you're not only here for their money. You're here for them, for their success, and that's how you keep them, and that's how you make real money. I mean, like my rate, I think it's expensive as a teacher, so that's the least I can do. Okay, so 23, use gamification techniques such as points, badge, leaderboard, motivate and engage your student. That's something that I don't do, but I saw that so many times for people who teach kids. I don't teach kids, so but I'm pretty sure like some kids they will love it. They love the motivation when they say like they're on the top. That's very very important. If you teach kids, that's something that you should probably consider. Okay. 24, create a positive and inclusive learning environment that values diversity, promote equality. For me, that's something like very dear to me. That's what I do. For me, I've got people from all over the world, from different culture, from different background. I've got like a male, female, old people, young people, teenagers, from so many different culture. And as I say, I'm also curious. It's a good thing. So I always ask question and I always ask, oh, is it really? I want to know that. Or can you tell me more about that? And I always make my student feel super comfortable. Um, that's it. As I say, some my students they love to talk about politics, so they ask my opinion. I say, yeah, for me, politics, I don't know because I don't live in my country anymore. I'm living abroad. They ask me about my religion, so I say, yeah, I'm Buddhist, but I have nothing against other religion. I like to learn. I read a lot of. I read the Bible. I read the Quran, and so I've got knowledge about that, and we can talk about that. I think it's interesting. So be open mind and make it very positive. Don't like your opinion get involved. You cannot do that. I have a student that love like a Donald Trump. For me, I don't mind. You can love it, hate him. It doesn't matter to me. That's what I mean. So just be positive, relax, and you have to be for your student as a teacher. Number 25, use humor and creativity to make your lesson more enjoyable and memorable. This is my strength. That's what I do the best, definitely. I love to use humor and creativity. I do like a lot of crazy things. I give more details on it on my course that you can get in the link down below. So I don't gonna give too much detail now, but there's very, very important things to do, and your student, they will remember you forever for sure. Okay, so let's move on. 26, provide opportunities for students to showcase their talent and skill through project and presentation. That's what I do. I have some of my classes, what I do when we work on a topic, after I ask them to do a presentation, like for the more advanced students, for example, we're talking about fashion and I say, okay, I want you to create a brand, and you have to present me your brand with the strength, with the weakness, with your plan to promote the brand or something like that, like something serious. But oh my god, some stars, no, this is not hard, you know how to do it. You just, because it's something new, like you're here, your comfort zone is here, and now you have to get out a little bit, so it seems scary, but you got this. And when they do this, you see, it wasn't so hard. Oh yeah, yeah. So you have to be positive, and when you do think like this, they say, "Oh my God, like actually, I'm good. I'm good." It's yeah, you're awesome. You're awesome. Hey, that's awesome. 27, almost done, almost done. And bear with me, bear with me. Use case studies and a role-playing exercise to teach real-world problem solving and decision-making skills. This is crazy. I saw that on internet. So, oh, that sounds good. So I copy paste that one. Meaning that's very important to not only teach a language or the topic, but like life skills, making decision, real life problem. That's very important to teach values to your student, especially if you teach kids or people that they don't really know. You can say, okay, maybe you can see that way, maybe from that angle it will be different, and they always, okay. So very important to consider that. 28, use case studies and role-playing exercises to teach real world problem solving. And okay, I did the same. 29, use online quizzes and self-assessment to help students identify areas and strength and weakness. As I say, you can use, there is many online, especially for English teacher. There is like a assessment. There is so many you can find. You can create your own if you want, according to what you do. Those can be important for me. I don't use it. I know some teacher do it, but for me, I don't think it's important. But I do so many other things that that's a few things that I don't do, but you can. Okay, 30. Be open to new technologies and methods of teaching and learning, and continue develop your skill. Yeah, it's evolving as a teacher, so there is new things every new tools, new ways of teaching, new apps, so use them. Why not? For me, I like to be updated of every new things that we can use. Is very, very, very important. So please be open to new technology. And the last one, encourage active learning. So please share, comment the video if you like it. But what about encourage the active learning? As I say, you have to make your student very active, like teach skills, not teach like a boring grammar or vocabulary, like make them participate, make them be happy, to keep the fire light, you know. It's very important for them to engage. And when you do that, you will keep them for a long time, and they will progress, which is what we want here. Okay, so I hope you like the video. It was a long video. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to subscribe, to share, to comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.